だってお話がハッピーを生むんだっぴ。
I'm sitting here in my chair at 7:17 a.m. on a Thursday morning after watching the last episode of Takopi's Original Sin, and I'm struggling to put how I feel into words, which is incredibly ironic considering the thematic core of the show, so maybe we just start with the story and find our way forward from there. Takopi, a pink alien octopus from the Happy Planet, crash lands into Earth one day. He, alongside all of his siblings, are sent out into the universe once they come of age to spread happiness to anything and everything. With this in mind, when he meets a young girl named Shizuka who is especially adverse to smiling, he makes it his personal goal to bring out the biggest smile she's ever had. Each day from that point forward, he shows her one of his happy gadgets, little tools he brought from home to assist him in making people happy. Yet, despite all of this, he still cannot get her to be happy. So when Shizuka approaches him, asking to borrow one of his happy gadgets, going against the warnings of his mother, he lets her borrow it. This decision wears on Takopi, and after a time, he anxiously runs to Shizuka's house. And there he finds something terrible. Shizuka had killed herself. Utterly confused, Takopi cannot fathom why Shizuka would willingly end her own life. To him, there had been no signs leading to this conclusion, no words exchanged that could have clued him into what she had wanted. Being young and immature himself, he lacks the context and experience to do anything at all, and with this in mind, he goes back in time days prior with the help of one of his happy gadgets, and resolves to prove to Shizuka that she doesn't need to die. That is the first half of episode 1. The entire story is told via Takopi's point of view. His inner monologue is the only one we hear for the majority of the show, which makes for an extremely unique tone. Up until this point in the story, it's made extremely clear the situation that Shizuka finds herself in, the cause of her pain, and why she makes the ultimate decision that she does. But to Takopi, whose unwavering optimism and innocence are his trademarks, all of this goes right over his slimy little head. He doesn't understand humans, the way that much of our communication is indirect, hidden behind words and actions that would come off as something else entirely to somebody lacking the necessary background. Thus, Takopi's blinding positivity instead serves as a blinding light in the cruelty occurring all around him, almost to the extent that it's funny until I realized that I couldn't laugh. His ignorance of the situation painted against the soul-sucking reality is a really hard watch. You get that sinking pit in the bottom of your stomach, knowing well that Takopi's attempts at resolving conflict may just end up making a bad situation somehow even worse. Within this relationship is where the true meaning of Takopi's original sin lies. Rather than fixing Shizuka's situation, instead to fix this endless loop of misery, he must come to understand what it is to be human. People can't simply be divided into two buckets labeled good or bad. There are reasons for why people act the way that they do, and the only way to figure this out is via communication. As a production, Takopi's Original Sin's ability to depict pain is haunting and something that will stay with me for a long while. It is both imaginative in the way the animation captures the feeling, the essence of what these characters are going through, and yet, when necessary, blatantly direct in its portrayal of the dark reality. The character art and animation is legit out of this world, and the effect it has on hammering home both the greater message and individual moments is staggering. My viewing experience was very reminiscent of the time I spent with Look Back, which was also able to accomplish the aforementioned tasks due to its incredible presentation. Again, quite ironically, it's able to communicate the emotion, the intensity of these characters better than anything I've seen in the past year. It's that good. As I've been alluding to up until now, like the title of this video suggests, the core of Takopi's Original Sin lies in connection. Our titular main character takes everything at face value. He lacks the ability to read beyond physical expressions in words themselves, often missing the point entirely or focusing on something mentioned in passing, taking the meaning of those words to their extreme, and making the situation worse as a result. We learn that each of the three characters Takopi interacts with have grown up in extremely bleak circumstances, each with their own flavor of dysfunction in their home environments. Some deal with this via shutting down, some take out their trauma on others, while some cling onto some self-realized, distorted image. What they don't realize is that they share an even greater trait amongst themselves. they are all alone. Whether there is somebody there to talk to or not, they store everything away, put it deep, deep down, never extending a hand for help, because after all, there's no point. Everybody in this show is broken, scarred because of very believable upbringings that make the contained events so heartbreaking. And yet, while the show makes it clear that not all pain can be healed via communication, it sure can ease the burden. Having somebody to talk to, somebody who listens to what you have to say, who tries to understand you and will stick with you through thick and thin, changes everything. Meaningful relationships are a true blessing, something that we often take for granted, but without it, we're reduced to nothing. Takopi's original sin was able to eloquently convey all of these ideas within a meager 6 episodes. There wasn't a single second of wasted runtime. Everything was as deliberate and distilled an experience as I've encountered. The production value is unbelievable, the direction is masterfully executed, and the story is as potent as they come. It's honestly hard to review something as perfect as Takopi, as no matter how I reorganize my thoughts into a script, it comes off as this uncensored gushing session that still lacks the ability to truly put my love for the show into words. But as this show puts it much more eloquently, happiness is born through talking. To truly communicate with one another is to put yourself out there, both the pretty and the ugly, and to form something much more valuable than what any alien gadget the pink octopus and the drain pipe could ever offer you. Yeah, that's a good way to end the video.